CBS's Bob Simon has just returned from a trip to Vietnam. He's joining us from our studios in New York. Welcome home, Bob.
Thanks.
What was your overriding impression as you traveled through both North and South Vietnam?
A sense of strangeness and a sense of sadness, Leslie. It's virtually unrecognizable. The scenery is the same, the props are the same. It's almost like walking into a Broadway theater the night after a play has closed. It's recognizable, but it's not the same. We knew Vietnam not as the poor, underdeveloped Asian country that it is that you're looking at today. We knew it as a stage for an American tragedy of vast proportions. And now when you go back there and you're looking at the paddies and you saw the scenes in Da Nang, the days at the end of the war, the panic, the furor. Now you go to Da Nang and it's a quiet city with a lot of bicycles and a nice beach. And you sit there and you wonder what the Americans were ever doing there, what they hoped to accomplish, what they could possibly have accomplished. Looking at these scenes, looking at a Vietnamese rice paddy where the methods of farming haven't changed for thousands of years, and recalling the policy pronouncements of the time, including peace with honor and making the world safe for democracy, makes you feel that you've somehow entered the world of the absurd.
Well, you know, there are more or less two impressions we get in all the things that have been written lately. One is that it's very poor, but two, that it's also a brutal regime. Did you see evidence of that?
Not in Hanoi. It was very interesting. Hanoi has been living under this regime since 1954. If the suit was ever tight, if it ever pinched, people have gotten used to it. So Hanoi is a very smiling city. People seem to be having not a very bad time. In Saigon, Saigon is sullen. They're wearing a straitjacket there and they're not used to it. When you ride around Saigon late at night, the pretty images of Saigon disappear. You see thousands of people asleep on the streets. The sidewalks are virtual dormitories. People are poor. There are secret police everywhere. People come up to you who think they might recognize you from the days you were there during the war and say they'd like to talk, but they can't talk. And there's an atmosphere there of severe repression. You don't get that from the pictures there. It looks like a very pleasant city. It looks a lot nicer than it did when the Americans were there. Again, it's quieter, it's charming, the boulevards are broad, and it's a lot cleaner than it was. But the atmosphere is quite sullen.
What did you feel the attitude toward America was?
In Hanoi, lovely. It was the most difficult thing to adjust to was the extent to which the people in Hanoi were delightfully friendly towards Americans. They want us back. The North Vietnamese want us back to help them out. They need help, and they know that the Russians cannot give them the kind of capital, the kind of expertise that we can.
Bob, on that note, thank you, and glad to have you back.